Welcome to mini lesson 11.3, the timer. This is going to be a pretty easy lesson. We're actually going to program a timer in Scratch, okay? Not a super complex endeavor, but nonetheless, it's good to do. Okay, so we have our stage, which will host our timer. The stage is a great place to put a timer unless there's a specific reason. Oh, that's my comments. Okay, you don't need that. All right, so anyhow, I mean, if you pause and write it, it's no big deal. But anyhow, the timer right here, and I wrote that in there like 3 or 4 years ago when I made these lessons. Long time ago. Okay, so anywho, the timer right here will be hosted on the stage, and it's just a good place to put on the stage because, you know, the stage is always going to be there. You can't delete the stage. If we had a situation where the sprite was deactivated or, you know, killed off and turned off, we would want this on the stage, so the stage is just a good central location where we can always access the timer, especially if you get into cloning your sprites. Okay, so the timer, here's how it works. Let me show you what the program looks like first. All right, so the unicorn bounces all over the screen. That's just kind of some, you know, side magic there. The main point is that the timer counts down, makes a noise, and then when it gets to 0, we have some sort of action taking place based upon the timer getting down to 0. Okay, here's how it works. So we receive a broadcast message called timer. This comes from this little hat block right here where we set the variables. We actually hide the time variable. Okay, why do we hide at the beginning? Just get into a good habit of it hiding where the program starts. So once the actual timer starts, that's when we show the variable right here. Okay, we set time to 10. You can change it to any value you want. While you're experimenting, be careful with that because if you set it too large, you might get distracted and forget about the timer. And here we'll keep repeating the action until time is less than 0. So time has been set to 10. We are going to repeat these actions until time is less than 0. And we're going to wait 1 second, change time by -1, and then play the clock tick sound. All right. By making it wait 1 second, this controls the timing of the function in real time, not computer speed time. And what that does is it makes an instant timer because we now know that this loop will have basically 1 second to run through, and that's exactly how we want our timer to work. We want it to go by 1 second. Now if we change it to say 1.5, then our timer is going to be a little bit different. That may work for you to have different times, but nonetheless, we have an instant timer because we can wait 1 second and have it count down by -1 until this is less than 0. And once it is, we broadcast a message called time is up. And this sprite right here, when it receives time is up, you'll notice this ghost is set to 100%. And you can see it when it shows up on the screen. So ghost is set to 100%, so it's already faded out. We tell it to show, we play the sound, then we repeat 100 times, changing the ghost by -1, which makes it appear. And then we clear out the graphic effects so that way we know it's all completely visible. Then we wait 1 second, and this little piece of code right here tells everything to stop. The unicorn, pretty simple, nothing really to do with the timer, but I thought I'd throw it out there just so you can see some extra stuff. Is that we set its direction, its XY coordinates, so it starts in the same place every time. You notice how it starts same place every time, okay? And we tell it to show, we tell it to move 10 steps, turn right by 5 degrees, and if it touches the edge, make it bounce. That's what causes it to do the little kind of bouncing across the screen type effect. And right here, whenever we receive the message, time is up, we tell it to stop all the other scripts in the sprite. Okay, just a good habit to get into. All right, let's go back to the presentation. And again, I walked through the code here already. You might want to pause it just to reread it. It's always good to read in addition to listen. And here's some definitions for a chronometer and a timer. We're making a timer because it's counting down. And there you have it. You know, I want to show you one thing before we go any further. I think it's in the instructions. Okay, right down here is a timer variable inside sensing. And you have some block here that can help manipulate it. The timer is always running. You can click on reset timer. I'll show you how to use this in the future. But just keep in mind, this timer is totally different than the timer we made, okay? So just remember that. All right, so good luck on this lesson, and we'll see you in the next video.